Hello everyone, myself Deepa Singh, working as assistant professor in Paresh Gyan Vihar University. Today we discuss about different absorption of or other than oral route of the drug for absorption like non-oral route, and this topic we covered for biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetic subject. And in this way discuss different routes other than oral route, which other routes are available for the drug absorption. So let's start. In this, mainly we covered these are the content in this introduction, route of administration, and internal routes, parenteral route, topical route, comparison of a different route. You compare all these routes with another route and the references. And before starting this topic, you should know about this basic objects. And in basic object, first is introduction of different non-oral route administration. You know all the non-oral route or definition or difference between each other of each route, and other than this different known oral route of administration including internal route, parenteral route, and topical route, and you should differentiate all these routes. And these subroute is again divided into the subcategory. In topical, it also divided into different types, and parenteral there different types of injections are available, and for internal route it also have different 2 or 3 subcategory. So you just know all this non-oral route or comparison or difference between these on non-oral route, and next is parenteral route, different types of injection and comparison of this route. You just compare all these routes with each other. So in introduction part, definition is the process of movement of unchanged drug from site of administration to the systemic circulation is called as absorption or drug absorption. You know that absorption is the process. In this absorption process, drug should be in an unchanged form, and it from site of administration to systemic circulation means your drug goes from site of administration to in your systemic circulation, and these drug should be in an unchanged form. And this unchanged form of the drug process is known as absorption. And you can say that in this process, there is no therapeutic effect is observed. And this is a route, different route. This is a diagram. The different route of administration are mentioned. First is parenteral mainly by injection like IV, IM, ISC. And depending on the type of route, we should give this parenteral route of the drug administration. Next is sublingual through face, or maybe through by the tongue, or maybe by the mouth. And inhalational is also through by the oral route, or maybe through nasal or oral. Next is transdermal patch. Patch may be intra you use for internal as well as external. For internal, certain type of operation takes place, and that particular patch inserted in your body. And next is topical. Topical, you just apply the formulation on the skin surface or on the particular area. So with the help of membrane, formation of a drug takes place for a particular time period. And rectal through by the rectal route. And in this next is first oral route. So we should cover this different routes of administration one by one. Oral route is very common, or everyone knows this oral route, and it is a more appropriate for giving the particular drug, because no specific or skilled person is required for oral route. Anybody take this route formulation with yourself, and there is no painful observation like during injection. Some person suffer pain, or some person have a phobia of that particular injection, but in oral route there's no this type of problem is occur. And it is a most common route of a drug administration. Drug is given through oral cavity, and dosage form capsule, tablet, syrup, emulsion, suspension, elixirs are most commonly used for oral route. Not only tablet and capsule, other than this tablet and capsule or solid dosage form, different types of liquid dosage form also used or given by oral routes like syrup, emulsion, suspension, and elixirs. And this route is most common route, and drug is given by oral cavity. These are the advantages and disadvantages of oral route. First is the safe, convenient, self-administered, pain-free, easy to take, economical, good absorption, no need for sterilization. Means this route is safe, no skilled person is required. Anybody take this route, drug from this route, and there's no side effects. So it's safe and convenient. Person or patient take yourself. Self-administration, no skilled person is required. Self-administration is possible, pain-free. No insertion or no cut is given by this route, and easy to take. And don't accuracy maintenance is required. You just take particular amount of drug, suppose taking tablet or capsule. If you are taking solid liquid dosage from formulation, that's just should measure 5 ml, 10 ml. No any other specific requirement is for oral route, and you can easily take by this route. Next is economical. Cost wise, it is also very cheap, and as well as it easily manufactured. So less cost or less economical requirement is for oral route. And next is good absorption. Absorption is also observed good by this route, and no need for sterilization. In this, no need for sterilization means suppose you are preparing parental route formulation. In this parental route, there's so many precautions are required, and sterilization is also required, because your drug goes through your blood directly or by the through vein or muscles, and there may be chances that by this route, if any foreign particle or any impurity is goes in your body, so it shows so many problems. And but in this route, there's no sterilization is required. You just prepare in a simple way. Next is disadvantages. And disadvantages, slow absorption and slow action. Compared to any other route like parental route, this shows slow absorption and taking more time for absorption. Due to this, it also shows slow reaction. Next is irritable, unpalatable, drug nausea and vomiting. Some person after taking the drug by this route show or maybe suffer nausea like feeling or maybe vomiting due to the irritable taste and odor. Due to in this condition, maybe improve their taste as well as odor. So this is one another drawback. Some persons maybe suffer or feel like nausea and vomiting. First pass effect due to biotransformation. In this, biotransformation is also occur, and first pass effect is observed. But any other route compared with oral route, like parental route, there is no first pass effect is observed. And food drug interaction and drug interaction is also possible when you take drug by the oral route, and your drug may be in a combination more than one or 2 or 3 type of drug in a formulation. Then in this case, maybe drug-drug interaction or your food also interact with your drug. This interaction may be observed. So this is all about the disadvantages of oral route. These are the route of administration. First is internal route. In internal route, oral, sublingual, and buccal and rectal route. And second is parental route. In parental is IV, IM, SC, ID, IA, IP, IP. And topical route is transdermal, inhalational, intranasal, intraocular, and intravaginal. These are the 3 types of route of administration: internal, parental, and topical. And these are then further divided into subcategory. And we discussed this one by one. Oral already we covered. Now in internal route, first is buccal and sublingual route. In buccal and sublingual routes, there are 2 sites for oral mucosal delivery of the drug. Sublingual route, the drug is placed under the tongue and allowed to dissolve. And in buccal route, the medicated is placed between the cheeks and gum. This to use sublingual and buccal both, you are showing more absorption or good absorption because your blood directly goes in a circulation. And this route, there's a little difference. Sublingual route means when you use your drug and place your drug between the tongue or below the tongue for fast dissolving, and this route is the fastest route also compared to buccal route. And in buccal route, you put your drug between the cheeks and between the gum, cheeks and gum, and in this also fast absorption is observed, but it is little bit slow than sublingual route. So this buccal route and this sublingual route, you apply your drug or maybe take your drug with the help of mouth or any oral cavity route, and in sublingual you put your drug below or just below the tongue, and buccal route, in this you put your drug between the cheeks and gums. Passive diffusion is a major mechanism of absorption of most drug. Nutrition will be absorbed by carrier-mediated process, and in this buccal as well as sublingual route, passive diffusion is observed, and the drug is absorbed by the passive diffusion or maybe carrier-mediated process. And nitroglycerin in this spray, mainly translingual, antihypertensive, nifedipine, analgesic like morphine, bronchodilator, phenytoin, steroids like osteodrol, and peptides like oxytocin. These are the drugs which is mainly given by that route, and it's an example of that particular class of the drug. Next, absorption in higher blood vessels. We already say that this route is good for fast absorption because blood flow is more observed in sublingual or this route, and no first pass effect is observed, and no degradation of a drug such as the encountered in the GIT. Next is presence of saliva facilitate both drug dissolution and permeation. And with the help of saliva, drug dissolution or permeation takes place fast compared to any other routes. And the disadvantage is that concern for taste and discomfort. Limited mucosal surface and small dose are administered. Some person may suffer bad taste or odor because the drug may be directly contact to sensation word or the taste word. And so maybe show some taste and discomfort during this route, and the mucosal surface area or maybe have a limited surface area or a space. So also have a small dose administration is required by this route. Next in internal route is a rectal route, and in this rectal route, drug may be administered as a solution, micro enemas or suppositories. And in this form, a drug is mixed with the waxy substance that dissolve or liquefied after it is inserted in the rectum. And the drug is absorbed from the rectum and anal canal by passive diffusion or unionized drug. Means in this route, you can use your mainly solution or suppositories type formulation, and mainly for micro enemas. And for this rectal route, you just prepare suppositories, and maybe any other formulation is also require some waxy or liquefied material, and you dissolve your drug with this waxy and liquefied material and just solidify it. And after solidifying, you just insert this suppository into rectal route. And in this, without this waxy and liquefied material, your suppository don't form. So this is the main ingredient of rectal route, and this is more absorption is observed by rectal route, and drug is show passive diffusion by the help of anal and canal, and mainly unionized drug are more absorbed by this route. Means when you take this drug by this rectal route, it should first pass effect, passive diffusion effect, as well as unionized drug are more easily absorbed, and anal canal helps to show the fast absorption. And in this also first pass effect is also not observed, and some waxy or liquefied material are required for the formulation. You dissolve your drug with this waxy material, and administration is mainly of suppository solution by the rectal route. Example of this category drug is like aspirin, paracetamol, theophylline, and few barbiturates, etc. are used for this rectal route. Next is advantages and disadvantages. In advantages, alternative route for administration of unpleasant taste and avoid nausea and vomiting can be used in case of unconscious patient. Bypass the pre-systemic and hepatic metabolism from lower half of the rectum. This is a best route and good route when you compare by oral route, because you do not see any unpleasant taste and odor, and you directly take your drug, and as well as you avoid nausea and vomiting feeling because no taste and odor are observed by this route. And next is can be used in unconscious patient also. If patient in an unconscious condition or not in their sense, then in this condition you can use this route. It is easy to administer and bypass systemic hepatic metabolism from lower half of the rectum. In this pre-systemic hepatic metabolism takes place and bypass of the drug takes place. And disadvantages of this route is absorption is sometimes irregular and incomplete. Many drugs cause irritation of rectal mucosa. Some irritation is observed on the rectal mucosa, or maybe your drug not completely absorbed or show irregular absorption. Next, second route is parenteral route. In parenteral route, direct delivery of a drug in systemic circulation without irritation mucosa. In this first route is intradermal route, and it is also known as ID. In this, mainly you apply your drug on the skin or onto the skin. And next is subcutaneous. It is also known as SC injection. And in this, we use mainly subcutaneous tissue for applying this type of injection. Next is intramuscular. This intramuscular mainly for vaccine or any oily suspension which is painful or not easily absorbed, or maybe oil solution suspension. And in this route, you use your drug or maybe apply your drug directly into the muscle and or the skeletal muscle. And next is intravenous. In intravenous, it is also known as IV, and your drug is applied into the veins. And it is a more appropriate or more fastest route of overall routes, including this parenteral other route. So IV is a more fast route. And next is intra-arterial. It is also known as IA, and in this drug is administered into arteries. And the next is intrathecal. In intrathecal, it is also known as IT, and the drug is administered in cerebrospinal fluid. And intraperitoneal, it is also known as IP, and the drug is administered by peritoneal cavity. And intra-articular is synovial fluid. Your drug administration takes place between the fluid or between the synovial fluid, and it is given by intra-articular route. So this is all are the parenteral route. Now we discuss this one by one. This is a picture where the subcutaneous are given intramuscular in the muscles, epidermis, dermis, and subcutaneous. There's three layer of the skin according to this type of administration with your particular drug at particular site. Next is intravenous injection. In this, it is used to introduce the directly into systemic circulation. Intravenous drip or infusion pump is used. Catheters can also be used. Means for this intravenous injection, maybe some catheters or some pumps are used, or maybe infusion takes place by this route. And you can say that it's to more effect or most fast effect directly into systemic circulation, and drug given into brain. And when you drug give the veins, drug directly reaches in systemic circulation and show more fast effects. And you can see the image, and drug is directly given into veins, and maybe you use catheters or any drips, and the pump is also used. Next, advantages and disadvantages of this route. For drugs that are absorbed orally and do not absorb orally, you can use this parenteral route, and you maybe use first pass if you avoid first pass effect or first pass metabolism. And rapid effect, large quantity can be given. 100% viability absorption phase is bypassed. Means if person show require rapid effect or maybe avoid first pass effect, or if a particular drug is not good or not absorbed properly by this oral route, in this condition, use this intravenous route, and it shows 100% viability, and 100% drug show response, and less chances to maybe excrete out of a drug, or otherwise overall 100% drug are observed for the effect. And the large quantity of a drug you can also supply by this intravenous route. And these are the disadvantages of intravenous route. In this, it reduces hemolysis or other adverse reaction. And the thrombophilitis of the vein, necrosis of adjoining tissue. Suspension may block the capillaries. When you give the drug through this venous route, there may be some chances that veins show some error or some problems, like hemolysis may be occur, and thrombophilitis is also show in vein, or maybe necrosis during adjoining the tissue, or suspension or oily suspension may block the particular capillaries. So these are some problems during intravenous. Otherwise, this route is very good and show 100% viability, and you can also take more amount of a drug by this route. And only some limitation that drug may be block your capillary or show hemolysis of the vein or any other problems. Next is intramuscular route. It is the second route of the parenteral route. In this, introduced drug in muscle. This compared to IV, and absorption is slower and incomplete. And absorption of a lipophilic drug occurs by passive diffusion into blood circulation and lymphatic system. Means in this intramuscular route or by IV route, you can see that IV route show slow or incomplete absorption compared to intravenous route, and lipophilic drug by passive diffusion maybe show first pass effect, or maybe observe that drug is directly do not reaches to systemic circulation, and mainly lipophilic drug is given by this intravascular route, and by this route it observes that issue first pass diffusion, and hydrophilic and ionic drug are absorbed in the blood circulation by capillary pores. If you given hydrophilic drug or ionic drug, then it can also be absorbed, but absorption is taken place by capillary pores. So this route is also good compared to oral route, and this is also a fast effect compared to your oral route. Now next is advantages and disadvantages of this route. In this oily suspension for depot and slow release preparation, means the oily suspension show some depot formation or slow release observed for oily suspensions, and for drugs which degrade after oral route insulin. Some drugs may be degrade like insulin by oral route is given by this intramuscular route, and rapid onset of action. Fast onset of action is observed for intramuscular route. Next is mild irritation can be given. In this condition, mild irritation is also used for this route. Next is disadvantages. In disadvantages, metabolism of the drug in muscle tissue. Metabolism which takes place, and precipitation of the drug in the injection site. Precipitation is also takes place at a particular injection site when given by this route. Irritating drug may be very painful. This route mainly is very painful because oil solution is given by this route, or maybe depot formation, or maybe irritation is occurred by this route. So in disadvantage, there's a very limitation that you can maybe chances that some drug are precipitated on this route, or maybe irritated or very painful after administration by intramuscular route. Next is subcutaneous route. In subcutaneous route, it is used only when drug dose does not cause irritation and otherwise severe pain, necrosis, tissue damage, or may occur. This subcutaneous route is mainly during does not cause an irritation and otherwise severe pain and necrosis and tissue damage may be occur. This route is also good compared to oral route because it is more convenient. But in this necrosis and tissue damage may be occur, and irritation is less observed, and maybe some person feel like pain by subcutaneous route, and this subcutaneous route is mainly used for administration of isotonic solution are injected to reduce the pain and can be utilized for sustained effect. For requirement of sustained effect or slow release for long period of a time, this route is mainly used for sustained effect, and incorporation of vasoconstrictor substance will retard the absorption. A vasoconstrictor substance, if you use a vasoconstrictor type of a drug you use, then it may be change absorption rate or may retard the absorption rate. Massage, exercise, application of a heat, inclusion of vasodilator will increase the absorption. If you see or maybe observe that you apply some massage or exercise or apply some heat or inclusion vasodilator, due to this application, absorption may observe fast or absorption is increased. So during condition of massage, exercise, and heat inclusion, this subcutaneous route show more absorption or more fast or increased absorption rate. Next is access to circulation, and pain not occur when patch is used, and used for vaccine drug not absorbed orally like insulin. These type of drug also show rapid access or rapid onset of action because drug is directly reaches to your circulation, and when you apply the patch, you see that there's no pain is observed. It is easily applied, and this one is mainly used for certain type of vaccine which is not stable, not given by oral route, and then this route is used to show more absorption, good absorption rate. And next is the disadvantages. In the disadvantages, slower absorption when compared to intramuscular. It show less absorption when you compare with intramuscular route, and rate of absorption depend upon the blood flow and injection volume. how much response is observed, how much response is produced. All this depend on the how much blood flow at particular site or volume of the injection, how much volume is injected to a particular site. These are the disadvantages. Next is intraperitoneal. In intraperitoneal, it is most commonly widely used for laboratory animal. And this route is mainly rarely used for human beings, but this is mainly for experimental purpose or for laboratory use animals for certain testing. And the drug can be directly administered into the supraarachnoid space, and directly thus effect will be localized to the spinal nerves and meningitis. And when you administer drug by this intraperitoneal, it show directly effect to subarachnoid space or between the localized spinal nerves, meningitis. And the example of this route is spinal anesthesia or CNS injections like tuberculosis, meningitis, in which spectromycin can be given intrathecally. And this route is mainly specific for a specific drug like TB drug, meningitis, or any CNS infection or spectromycin type drug are used by intrathecal route or by applied by this intrathecal route. Next is intraarterial. Intraarterial is only limited for administration of radio-opaque media for diagnostic purpose or to localize the effect of a drug to particular tissue or organ by injecting the drug in the hepatic artery, or in case of hepatic tumors, means your drug apply on the artery or maybe hepatic artery. And in this route, there is only limited drug you apply or administered by this intraarterial route. And for diagnostic purpose, this route may be mainly used. And when you apply the drug is particular tissue or organ by injecting drug in the hepatic artery. And most widely used for experimental work. Example, treatment of a liver, tumor, head, and neck cancer. This intraartery is also limited use, and limited type of drug is administered by this intraarterial route. And intraarterial route mainly liver, tumor, or head or neck cancer type of drug are administered by intraarterial route. And next is intradermal. In intradermal drug is given within the skin layer and on the dermis. And this type of injections are very painful and mainly used for testing sensitivity to the drug. And this route is also used for testing of certain drug or during testing of on animal. Example, penicillin, ATS, that is anti-tetanus serum, administration of a vaccine like smallpox vaccine. And next is intra-articular injections. In this intra-articular injections are antibiotics and corticosteroids are administered in inflamed joint cavity by expert. This intra-articular injection requires some trained person or some expert person, and the injections, mainly antibiotics or steroids, are administered by intra-articular route. And like hypocortisone for rheumatoid arthritis type drug are administered by intra-articular route. This is also limited for limited drug, mainly antibiotics and steroids are good for this route. And in this person, some expert is required. And inflammation is also observed by administration of this intra-articular route. Next, third type is topical administration. Topical administration is also good route, and in this route also there's some no trained person is required, no irritation, no pain is observed, and good absorption is observed by this topical route. And this topical route is more convenient route, and this topical route are the three pathways postulated for the diffusion of solute through the skin. First is transcellular, that is also known as passive diffusion. Second is intracellular, that is also known as paracellular. And transepigeal, that is drug diffusion through hair follicle, sweat gland, and sebaceous gland. Means these are the three mechanisms which are mainly responsible for showing during transdermal administration. And the absorption of a drug or formation of a drug takes place through hair follicle, or maybe through sweat gland, or maybe through sebaceous gland. These are the glands mainly responsible for absorption of the drug or showing absorption of the drug. Next, in this topical route, there is diffusion through the multiple layer or bilayer of the dead hypophilic keratinized and horny cells of stratum and cornea is really limiting state. And means in this lipid bilayer, drug is penetrated by normally passes through this lipid bilayer, and this is limited for different types of the drug. Hydrophilic drug are keratinized with horny cell of a certain corneum, show bright limiting step, and the lipophilic drug show penetration to this layer, that is intracellular route. But you use oil soluble or maybe lipophilic type of a drug. Drugs show more penetration due to their lipophilicity or easily penetrate, and the mechanism observed for lipophilic drug is intracellular type of the mechanism is observed, but it just opposite for hydrophilic drug. Hydrophilic keratinized cells allow intracellular formation of a polar drug. Means in lipophilic drug, there's intracellular process which takes place, but in hydrophilic drug, intracellular process is takes place, and lipophilic drug are easily penetrate or permeate through this membrane, but hydrophilic drugs show more problem or do not penetrate through this route, and it show intracellular process, and by this intracellular process, mainly polar drug cross the membrane, and dosage from there are the cream, ointment, lotion, gel and transdermal patches, and this are mainly used. For transdermal route, mainly you prepare certain creams and semi-solid formulation are mainly used, like creams, ointment, lotions, and gels type of formulation mainly used for this transdermal route. And you can also apply some patches of this on the particular site, and when you apply these patches, the drug formation takes place through the membrane. So this semi-solid of patches type of formulation used for the subcutaneous route. Next, include administration of a drug to any mucous membrane like skin, maybe known as percutaneous. Example is allergy testing, topical local anesthesia. Second is mucous membrane of respiratory drug. In this inhalation maybe takes place like for asthma type of the drug. Next is this transdermal. There is a first type or subcategory transdermal drug delivery. In transdermal drug delivery, the drug in a solution or bound to a polymer is held to reservoir between the exclusive baking film and rate controlling, and micropore membrane under the surface which smeared with adhesive. Means when you apply the drug by this transdermal route, you apply maybe baking film or any other occlusive or maybe thin reservoir. When you apply this particular formulation, it penetrates or passes through membrane by this transdermal route, and in this mainly polymers are used for formulation because it adhere or maybe stick particular formulation. Next is site of application, includes upper arm, chest, and abdomen. These are the sites where you apply the patches of where you can apply particular drug by transdermal drug delivery. Next is no first pass effect is observed, and drug do not contact in GI environmental condition because drug directly reaches the systemic circulation with application, and the patient also have a compliance. It do not require a trained person or don't suffer patient any painful condition, and it is also patient compliance. Provide constant plasma drug profile. Plasma drug profile is also constant and good, and easy to terminate drug therapy by removing patch. Means if sufficient action is observed or you require to terminate that therapy, then you easily remove that particular patch for termination of that therapy or the showing effect of that particular drug. So next is disadvantages. In disadvantages, toxic skin reaction. When you apply the patch particular area on the skin, there may be chances that it will show some irritations of redness or some reaction or toxic reaction may be observed. Next is variable blood flow to the skin. Blood flow is also vary, and complex relationship between the drug vehicle and skin physiology. There may be some chances that the reaction maybe takes place between the drug or between the skin physiology. In this, ionic drug can be absorbed by novel technique. These are some novel technique or this recently developed technique. And when you use this novel technique, more absorption is observed and fast effect is observed. In this first is iontophoresis. In iontophoresis, an ionized drug solution is placed on the skin. An application of a current will drive charge drug molecule away from electrode into the tissue and vice versa. In iontophoresis, mainly you use ionized drug solution, and you use this ionized drug solution placed on the skin, and when you apply this drug onto the skin, and due to this ion present, current will passes. This contain maybe charge, and due to this electrode charge, it should move fast formation into the tissue. And if you require slow base, then you can also control by this current flow rate. Means in iontophoresis, you just apply your formulation on particular area, and with the help of current or maybe help of electrode, your drug can be permeate through the membrane or maybe vice versa. And example of this iontophoresis is cortisol, lidocaine, protein, and peptide type of drug administered by iontophoresis. Second type is phenophoresis. It is defined as a movement of a drug through skin under the influence of ultrasound. Means in previous method using a current, but in case of phenophoresis, you can use ultrasound or maybe with the help of ultrasound, permeation takes place fast. And you can differentiate these two methods that iontophoresis are more requirement of the current, but in phenophoresis require ultrasound waves or influence of ultrasound for the movement of the drug. These are the two recent techniques, and when you use this technique, there is more absorption or fast absorption of the drug is absorbed by this method. Next is intranasal administration. In intranasal administration, drug is administered by the nasal route, and this is also good route similar to parental route and to fast effect on more absorption. Drug absorbed by this route is rapid as a parental administration because of its high permeability and vasculate. Example is drug used to treat local symptoms like nasal congestion, rhinitis are the example of this intranasal route. Next, mechanism of intranasal route. Mechanism for delivery of a nose to brain, and drug reaches the blood circulation may subsequently cross the blood-brain barrier. And by this intranasal route, drug can easy to reach the systemic circulation, cross the blood-brain barrier also. Substance may cross olfactory epithelium by simple diffusion and receptor-mediated cytosis or paracellular transport. The substance may then follow to the CNS, and means when you apply the drug is registered through olfactory cells or olfactory epithelium cells, and the diffusion takes place with the receptor present nasal route, and drug show the mechanism like paracellular transport type, and maybe drug reaches to nerves or at least to CNS. Next, disadvantages of this intranasal route or advantages of this intranasal route. In advantages part, lipophilic drug show rapid absorption by diffusion, use of permeation enhanced even drug up to 6,000 Dalton, show reasonable viability. Polar drug are absorbed by pore transport. Means all type of drug are absorbed by the intranasal route, and molecular weight up to 6,000 Dalton molecule are absorbed by this route, and drug absorption show co-transport mechanism, and rapid absorption is also takes place by this route. And in disadvantages part, formation of the drug is influenced by pH of nasal secretion, that is pH is 5.5 to 6.5, and viscosity also vary. And physiological conditions such as common cold is observed during the nasal apply or during the using with this nasal route. Next is vaginal administration. In vaginal administration, drug meant to be intravaginal action are generally intended to act as a locality. The treatment of bacterial or fungal infection or prevent the consumption. Means this route is mainly used for certain problems in vagina or maybe at particular site. Mainly this route is used for bacterial or fungal infection or prevent this bacterial fungal infection, and drug administered on the vaginal route. And drug are absorbed by passive diffusion in the systemic circulation. Drug is mainly absorbed by passive diffusion or passive diffusion mechanism, and drug directly reaches in the systemic circulation. Example of this category drug is contraceptive and other steroids mainly used for the vaginal route. Next is advantages and disadvantages of this route. Is advantages: avoid first pass metabolism, control delivery and termination of the drug action when a desire. Then in this route, there's no first pass is observed, and controlled drug delivery is also used for this type of route, and the drug release slowly and show control release mechanism. Disadvantages: drug absorption may be influenced by pH of the lumen route, that is 4 to 5. Secretion: microorganism present in the lumen which may metabolize the drug, and due to this lumen presence or microorganism present, there may be chances that it easily metabolize or degrade the drug. Next is intraocular administration. In intraocular administration, sterile aqueous solution of a drug are administered in the conjunctival cul-de-sac, and the skin cornea is composed of liquidal aqueous layer. The epithelial and endothelial cell are liquidal, stomach and cellular with high water content, and unionized drug easily penetrate through this epithelial and endothelial, form a severe depot for lipophilic molecules. When in intraocular route, the drug administered by the conjunctival sac, cul-de-sac, or with the help of this conjunctival sac, cornea has to absorb or permeate the drug. And in this type of drug, may take some precaution that your drug should be in a sterile condition or free from microbe or foreign particle, because it should more irritation or maybe affect your eye also. Advantages part is provide prolonged duration of effect. Side effects from systemic are very slow, and disadvantages is protein present in tear bind with drug, and such bound drug due to bulkiness are difficulty to absorb. Tear may be produced by applying this route, and due to this bulkiness is observed and difficult to absorb the drug due to this bulkination. But this route is good and show prolonged effect and less side effects, and application is also not too much difficult. Next is pulmonary administration. It is alveolar, epithelial, capillary, and endothelium have a permeability to hydrophilic as well as lipophilic substance, and absorption of a hydrophilic drug often by diffusion to aqueous membrane pores and inversely proportional to molecular size of the drug, and lipophilic drug are absorbed by passive diffusion. Means this route is also good for absorption, and the drug takes place by passive diffusion. In this route, you can use both hydrophilic as well as lipophilic type of the drug, and both drugs show passive diffusion or maybe good absorption rate also observed, mainly for lipophilic drug. Example: gaseous or volatile anesthesia, inhalation of amyl nitrates, abort angina attack. This route is mainly used for some asthmatic patient or certain emergency like during attack or angina attack. Drug delivered to lung is dependent upon the particle size of aerosolus droplet. Particle more than 10 micron impact to the mouth, throat, and upper respiratory tract mucosa do not reach to pulmonary tree. Very small particles like 0.6 micron from the drug absorb is rapid, and particle is 1 to 5 micron depart within the slower respiratory tract. These are the differentiation or the difference between different particles. So you select the particle size according to the requirement, which type of effect you require, where the effect is required. Next is advantages and disadvantages. In advantage, rapid absorption, avoid first pass, hepatic metabolism, reduce rapid action, reduce systemic side effect. In disadvantage, drug may be metabolized in bronchial wall or lung, limited for the administration of a drug that affect the pulmonary system, like bronchodilator. In this example is salbutamol, anti-allergic like bromomycin, and comparison between this route, the route for different action and absorption, and example buccal, rectal, and transdermal route, and subcutaneous route according to time. There's a different time is required for different route. Next is outcome. This complete topic after you know this topic and different type of route of administration. First is how different type of non-oral route are administered, all type of non-oral route, and difference between these route, with their advantages and disadvantages, which route you prefer according to requirement, and why you prefer this particular route, and you just compare 2 or 3 routes for particular differentiation. So after this complete lecture, you know all information about all the route of administration with their advantages and disadvantages and their difference also. This is learning outcome. Then the reference is first Milovibaldi by pharmaceutical and clinical pharmacokinetic. Previous publication, 4th edition, 2005, page number is 80 to 118. Next is J.S. Kulkarni, A.P. Pawar, MBS, Cent Worker, Biopharmaceutical and Pharmacokinetics, CBS Publisher Distributor, 1st edition, 2006, page number is 47 to 59. Next is CBS Subramanian, Biopharmaceutical and Pharmacokinetic Concept, Application, Balla Prakashan Publisher is 1st edition, 2010, page number is 115 to 128. Next reference is DM Brahmankar, Sunil Jaiswal, Biopharmaceutical and Pharmacokinetic at Brazil, Bala Prakash publisher. First edition 1995, page number is 81 to 93. And these are all the reference, all these references are good. You can use any book or maybe any combination of this book. Next is question part. In question part, first is route of administration when passes the drug through liver is minimized by oral route, transdermal route, by rectal route, or intraduodenal route. Next, second question is which route of the drug administered lead to first class effect? In this, A route is oral, B is intramuscular route, C is rectal route, D is intraduodenal route. And next question third is what is the characteristics of our oral route? And this first is fast onset effect, B is absorption depend on GI tract secretion, C is a drug reaches to blood directly, D is the sterilization of medicinal form of obligatory. And in fourth question, the feature of sublingual route is pretty fast absorption. B is a drug is exposed to gastric secretion. A drug is exposed to prominent liver metabolism. And D is a drug can be administered in variety of doses. Next, fifth question is pick out the parental route of medicinal agent administration. And this is rectal route, B is oral route, C is sublingual route, and D is inhalational route. And in sixth question, parenteral administration cannot be used with unconscious patient. B is generally used in less accurate dosage than the oral administration. C is usually produce a more rapid response than oral administration. And D is it is too slow for emergency use. And seventh question, what is the characteristic of intramuscular drug administration? E is only water-soluble drug can be injected. B is oily suspension can be injected. And C is opportunity of hypertonic solution injection. And D is action developed slower than oral administration. And in eighth question, which tissue has a greater capacity for biotransfer drug? First is kidney, second is liver, third is lung, and D is skin. And in ninth question, which one of the following drug diffuses easily through the membrane and gastric region? Drug one is chloroquine, B is aspirin, D is morphine, D is ibuprofen. In last 10th question, parenteral administration is slow emergency use, and B is cannot be used for unconscious patient. C is general result in less accurate than oral route administration. D is usually produce more rapid response than oral administration. So this is all about the questions, and thank you so much for listening and watching this video. Thank you so much.